Hi everyone. Welcome to Google for Education, Flipping the Classroom with Screencastify. This really quick video is just meant to be a demonstration of what a flipped video or what a video lecture might look like or presentation would look like in your classroom. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm the Director of Academic Technology and an Assistant Professor of Education at Wisconsin Lutheran College, which is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the first thing that you're going to need to do in order to use Screencastify is install it. Screencastify is a Google Chrome extension, so you're going to first of all need to go to Google Chrome. If you use the bookmark bar, you can go to the web store. Otherwise, you can just search for the Chrome web store. You can see it down on the left-hand side here. And in the Chrome Web Store, you're going to search for Screencastify. Screencastify is an extension, so typically they're divided up by apps and extensions. Find the extension, you can see what it looks like there, and you're just going to click on the Add it to Chrome. It's going to ask you for some permissions, and you're going to get a lot of these screens throughout asking you about the permissions, letting it have access to different things so that Screencastify can record your videos and then share them either on Google Drive or on YouTube. Once you're done adding the extension, you're going to notice that it's a little icon up here on the right side of the Omnibar where you can type in the address or search that you're working with. And the first thing you're going to need to do when you click on that is, again, give it some permissions. You obviously have to let it use your camera and your microphone in order to make a good recording or in order to make an audio recording. After that is done, you will need to choose where you're going to save the videos. Personally, I choose to store these things on Google Drive, especially if I'm using a Google Apps for Education account because the storage is unlimited, but you could also choose to have them stored locally on the device. That's just where it's going to store the actual physical media, the recording of the video that you're taking. You can also set up tab recording. I'm not a big fan of tab recording. A lot of people struggle with it. I instead like to record an entire screen, which is what I'm doing right now. But you can set it up, that way you can use it. Again, it's up to you. You'll have to accept some permissions. So once you have all these permissions accepted, you're ready to kind of dive in. But before we do that, let me show you the menu on Screencastify. So when you're in Google Chrome and you go up, hover over, or click on the little film strip up there, you're going to see that you have this menu which shows you the tab, the desktop, or camera. You could make a screencasting that is just your camera. Again, just the tab, or I like the desktop. We'll talk about some of these things again later. You also can click on the little three bars, the menu icon there, the hamburger menu, if you will, and you'll be able to get down to the options for Screencastify. In the options, you can change where you're recording. You can change some of the notifications as well as a few of the other things. I'll just let you kind of play around with those. None of them, other than the where I store them, do I usually mess around with. In order to really use Screencastify, and this is kind of up to you, I recommend using a YouTube channel. Some school districts don't allow students to use YouTube, so that's what's really nice about this is you can also share your videos via Google Drive so that they don't need a YouTube account. But if you haven't created a YouTube channel, you can sign into your Google account and go to YouTube, and you'll notice a little menu for My Channel over on the left. When you click it, if you haven't set one up before, it's going to ask you who you want to use YouTube as. That way you can make a unique YouTube name if you wanted to. This dummy account is Raz Al Ghul, so that's the name of the channel. Once you're done with that, this is what your channel looks like. It's a place where all of your YouTube videos are going to be. You'll notice you can customize the art and the pictures and things like that. You'll notice that I actually have one uploaded on this channel already, the video that you're looking at right now, most likely. You can also go to the video manager, which is a little icon on the top of that screen. I'll jump back over here. You can see it way up at the very top. So that little icon takes you to the video manager, which gives you some more control over your videos. So that's your YouTube account. It's all set up. So now we're going to go into Screencastify and record our video. To do that, we're going to go up to that little film strip icon that was up here before and click on it. And we'll have to select what we want to use for our webcam if we're using one, and what microphone we want to use, again, if we're recording audio. You can choose whether or not to show a preview window, which will just let you see what's going on the screen as you're doing that. I had one up here at the very beginning of the video, and now my presentation is covering it. And then you're just going to click the Start Recording button that's on the bottom. It's going to ask you which screen you want to share, and here's that idea of tabbed recording as well. I just shared my entire screen, and that way you can see everything that I can see. And then it'll get going. Since I did use a preview window, it normally shows up in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, so it's down there. You can minimize it if you want. It also gives you the ability to stop and pause that. In fact, I'll escape from this and show you mine. That preview window is right here, kind of keeping track of how long that is. So that's the preview window. So I'm going to minimize that again and go back into my presentation. You'll also see that there is a little menu icon on the bottom that I could have hidden a long time ago that tells you that you're recording. Once you're finished recording your video, you're going to be taken to a screen that looks like this, and it's just going to have your video playing. It'll start automatically, and it has a little menu of things that you can do up on the right-hand side. So once that's done, you can use that screen to kind of preview and see if you like the video or not. And then really the last step is to share your video, and that's what the little sideways V is for. You can share your video, again, using Google Drive or YouTube. I chose YouTube in this case, and you'll notice that even after I select that, I'm going to have to select what channel. So I'm going to select my account and then give it access to it, and that's going to allow me to use my channel. It's going to upload it right away by clicking on the little icon on the bottom of the screen. Even gives you some control over who can see the video. I usually use unlisted, and I copy that link to give to students or put into Google Classroom. Some other things that you're able to do, up at the very top, you'll have a little button to go to your recordings, where in Screencastify you'll be able to see all the recordings you've done, and you can select them, watch them again right there, and even download them to a flash drive or to something else. Really handy if you have a student who doesn't have internet access. You can record your video, download it to a flash drive, give it to them to just plug into a computer and play later. So really nice that they had thought of that. And also accessing your recordings, once you've finished recording, they're going to be in your, well, I saved them in my Google Drive. So if I went over to my Google Drive, it automatically created a Screencastify folder. And in that Screencastify folder, it will have the videos that are there. And from there, I can share them with students the exact same way that I share a document or a sheet. Right-click on it, use a shareable link, share with an email address. All of those options are ready for me. So that really is, in a nutshell, how to use Screencastify to record a video. So this video is kind of my example of doing that. So I've recorded this presentation for you so that you can go back and rewatch that as many times as you want. I hope you enjoyed it.